Greetings from Bellefontaine, Ohio. My name is Ben Stahler, and I'm mayor of Bellefontaine, Ohio, and I'm very pleased to be with you today and share some thoughts with you as well. Bellefontaine is a city of about 14,000 people. We're part of a county that's 46,000 people, and we're located in west central Ohio. Bellefontaine has had a very warm and successful relationship with a number of Japanese companies, and I have to take you back to really one of our success stories. This takes you back to the 1970s when then Governor Rhodes in Ohio struck up a relationship with Mr. Honda himself. So now take yourself to about 1979 when Honda was very proud to roll off the first United States-made motorcycle with the Honda name on it. Only a few short years later, we were producing automobiles, and that really began the industry's movement from Japanese-owned automakers into the United States. And so we're really a part of that early picture and that take-a-chance effort from Mr. Honda and from Honda of America as well. Today, you would find Bellefontaine centrally located. If you drove anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes to my east, you'll find two major automotive makers in Honda. And then if you go just to the west, in the same amount of miles, you would also find the transmission plant and the engine plant. And so Bellefontaine is really in the heart of this automaking industry. In addition to having Honda as such an important partner in our community, we have 11 different Japanese-owned companies that are also located in our county, and they supply a number of those different vital parts. It's really vital for constant production to have those in a ready-to-go, the logistics, the movement of parts. It's much better to have them produced just down the road from where they're actually putting the car together. So really our history goes back about 40 years, and we have a very warm relationship and a close relationship with all of those manufacturers. I'm very proud to say that of the 11 manufacturers right here in Logan County, they employ 7,000 employees. And again, we're a county of only 46,000 people, and that's of all ages, of course, including our school-age kids. They are a major source of income. They are a major employer, and they are a very important aspect of our world right here in Logan County. Not only here in west central Ohio, but every 2 years we make the trip to Japan. And oftentimes many of the international headquarters are found right in Tokyo, and we make very important one-day trips to each of these headquarters, and we tell them how much we honor them, we appreciate the business, and we have that same exchange of information. We want to share vital good news, or at least lay all the cards on the table. Here's what's happening back in Ohio, and then we sit back and listen and generally hear a very exciting story about not only production in the United States from a Japanese-owned company, but oftentimes it's a global picture. And we're told the story of where production's happening in Europe and South America and Africa and all parts of the world. And so we come home with a better understanding of the nature of a global production, but we also have a very warm feeling because when we return home, we see that Logan County, Bellefontaine, and even west central Ohio is a vital part of Japan's production throughout the world. And so we feel good that we're a part of that, but we want to be an active partner and help wherever we can. A little bit about their impact on our local economy. And here we are in the cornfields of west central Ohio. So we like to say we grow three things very well. We grow corn, we grow soybean, and we grow automobiles. And we're very, very proud of that third fact. We have, for instance, Asahi glass, where the windshields and glass are made for automobiles right here in Bellefontaine. But Honda is not their only recipient, and so we're also we salute that industry for being diversified. So they're sending off auto glass to all kinds of manufacturers right here in the United States. We have injection molding. We have some steel bearings that are made for cars. We have the harnesses for seats and the seat belts, and even the plastic injection moldings that are so vital to put those pieces of the puzzle together. So as I said, right here in Logan County, we have 11 different businesses that are Japanese owned, and that's where we take time every 2 years to go back to Tokyo and again continue the relationship with the folks who are in Japan and are probably making those very important and corporate decisions about not only their position here in the United States, but throughout the global market. But when your community considers a relationship with a Japanese company, just know that they are global, and whatever they're producing, they're going to mean a lot to your community. Let me tell you about a couple of those things that come to mind. First of all, they're a great employer. I've never seen one institute union labor because the employees are so happy to work for a Japanese-owned company. So their wages are top-paying wages. The benefits are outstanding. And I'll tell you that as we went through an economic downturn last year in 2020, Honda's the kind of company that stepped up and said, you know what, we'll keep these associates busy. We may have to stop production for a few weeks of cars, but we're going to keep them busy. We're going to pay them, and we're going to move forward because we know we'll come through this, which of course we are. And it's important that they value each and every associate. If I were to leave you with one final thought, I just want to share with you that while many of you have difficult decisions day to day, and they impact the people who live and work in your area, I want to tell you that we only have a positive experience by taking a chance and creating a relationship with a Japanese-owned company. I can't wait for the next opportunity for Japan to look at our area and say, we think it's important for not only U.S. production, but for global production to be in your neck of the woods. And so it's again, back to that key word. It's about relationships. And I hope that you will take something from my few minutes with you today and just understand that it's worth the chance, and that my experience from this seat and from this community is that I sure am glad that we did. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Sidney Mayor Mike Barhorst, and I extend to each of you my warm personal greetings. I served as a member of Sidney City Council from 1977 until 1989, and as vice mayor and mayor 8 of those 12 years. When I was first elected to office, Sidney had the highest per capita unemployment rate in the state of Ohio, and when I left office 12 years later, Sidney had the lowest unemployment rate in the state of Ohio. Japan played a key role in that turnaround. In fact, it was 1985 when Japan made the announcement, Honda made the announcement that they were going to be locating the engine plant in Shelby County. And as a result, a number of Japanese companies decided that they would locate in Sidney, suppliers to Honda. Sidney, Shelby County has approximately 21,000 people. Sidney is a great place to locate a business, and Japanese businesses have found that to be the case. As mayor, I make an effort to visit 10 to 15 local businesses every month. Those business visits allow me to understand firsthand the opportunities businesses may have to grow and the ways the city may help them to grow. When I previously served in office, Sidney's per capita unemployment rate was the highest in Ohio. That changed when Honda announced in 1984 that they would be locating their engine plant in Shelby County. Honda officials made that announcement in Sidney, and I was privileged to be in attendance when that announcement was made. Honda's announcement was followed by several other companies that supplied Honda, announcing they would locate their facilities in Sidney. Today, Japanese companies, including Advanced Composites, a supplier of engineered plastic compounds for the automotive industry, Stahler Machinery, the supplier of presses that produce pop-top cans, NK Parts, a supply chain partner of Honda, Hexa Americas, a supplier of plastic rosins and synthetic fibers for the automobile industry, and Sankyo Automation, a leader in cam-driven index technology, all call Sidney their home. I try to visit these companies at least a couple of times a year, although admittedly the pandemic did keep me home for nearly a year. Even so, I visited Advanced Composites when their new president arrived in the United States. Although Yoshiri Niki arrived in the middle of the pandemic, I wanted to welcome him to Sidney, and I recently stopped back as recently as mid-April to check on how their business has recovered, and I'm happy to report that they are producing more product now than they did before the pandemic hit. Many of our companies were designated as essential. The local economy did not struggle as much as it did in other parts of Ohio. Certainly companies like Advanced Composites did send their workforce home for about a month, but when they brought them back, they rebounded quickly and were important engines of the recovery here. Shelby County is currently tied for sixth place amongst Ohio's 88 counties for having the lowest unemployment rate in the state of Ohio. Certainly, as our largest employer in Shelby County, Honda has played an important role in Sidney's success, as have the Japanese companies located here. Unfortunately, I have never had the opportunity to visit Japan. We've planned to go on a number of occasions, but fate almost always seems to intervene. For example, in 2011, the earthquake and tsunami that hit Japan scuttled that trip. More recently, the pandemic scuttled still another. I look forward to visiting, hopefully soon. I have enrolled in some Japanese language courses, so hopefully I'm going to be able to communicate directly when I get there. I strongly believe that such trips are an important sign of friendship between our two countries, and certainly look forward to visiting soon. I think the most important thing that we can do as American government leaders is the kinds of things that I do. Visit with the companies once they're established here, keep that line of communication open. I'll give you just one example. A couple of years ago, the president of Advanced Composites was having a difficult time obtaining a visa for a family member who lived with them. I was able to talk with the local congressman and get the visa. Actually, once I talked to the congressman, the visa was able to be processed within a week. So I think those relationships are the kinds of things that help make the engines of progress, the engines of advancement move forward. Japanese investment here and American investment in Japan, I think, are two wheels on the same vehicle, if you want to put it that way. It makes sense to me that if we're producing cars in this country that are going to be sold in this country, that they're made here if that's at all possible. Similarly, if an American company is wanting to sell items in Japan, it would make sense to me that they produce them there, because I have to think it's going to be a little less expensive than building them here and transporting them across the ocean. I think those relationships, again, to me, just make sense for so many reasons. We've had such a wonderful working relationship with the Japanese companies located in Sidney, Ohio, and in Shelby County and I've never heard of any other location not having that same kind of valuable relationship. Again, it just makes business sense to me that those relationships continue.